Ooh, we are live. Hi, hi. This is Math 40, section 4.2. This is systems of equations solved using substitution. And I took a quick break so I could make some puppets. This puppet is Matt Damon, starring in The Martian. So remember that the way that we introduce these is when we have a system of two equations, we imagine Matt Damon is stuck on Mars, and no spoilers, but we're going to try to bring him back on a spaceship. And the first equation tells us whether or not the spaceship has enough oxygen to last through the entire flight. The second equation tells us whether or not the spaceship has sufficient heat shielding so that it survives re-entry into the atmosphere. When you come through the atmosphere, there's a lot of friction. It's like hitting something almost solid, and so it creates a lot of friction, and so you end up with a lot of heat. And so Matt Damon is depending on us to see if we can solve this equation to tell him whether or not there's a way to build him a spaceship that will get him home safely. So we are in the section on systems of equations with substitution. And as always, if you get to a problem which in the middle or towards the end of a system of a set suddenly seems too easy, you should be very concerned. So this one does seem pretty easy. I've already got the first equation solved for y. So my first step, solve for one variable in one of the equations. Equation number one, y equals 2 minus x. I mean, the work's done for us. What could possibly go wrong? Oh no. Okay, so let's go ahead. Step two, substitute. So what that means is we take the other equation, in this case, that's 3x plus 3y equals 6. And in place of the y right here, ooh, let me scooch this up a little bit so you can see better. There we go. In place of this y right here, you're going to go ahead and plug in what y was equal in the other equation. In this case, y equals 2 minus x. So right in place of this y, we're going to put 2 minus x. And again, if the first equation is my yellow equation, there's my yellow piece. And if the second equation is my blue equation, there we go. This is going to be my blue piece. Notice I've learned not to try to highlight the actual writing because it's smearapalooza everywhere. So, okay, so I've got this. So now I've got an equation that has only x's. So I'm going to go ahead and solve this. And I come up here and I get 3x. I'm just going to rewrite it. Plus 3 times the quantity 2 minus x equals 6. Life is good. This seems pretty straightforward. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, he's depending on us. Let's see if Matt Damon's going to make it home. 3x plus, and then I multiply out. 6 minus 3x equals 6. And then I've got something weird. Now, this is the point, and I don't have a puppet for your lizard, but you have a lizard brain, and your lizard brain's job is to keep you from getting eaten by larger animals. Now, math may feel like a larger animal, but ultimately it cannot eat you. You can always put the math down and walk outside, and it can't get you. It's stuck on the paper. So, but your lizard brain is going to tell you this is a very scary and stressful situation. It's going to tell you to stop. It's going to tell you to turn around. It's going to do anything it can to get you to not get eaten by math. And what I'm going to say is, thank your lizard brain. Say thank you so much for millions of years of keeping us alive. But let's put that aside for just a moment and take a look at what we've got, because this actually isn't going to eat us alive. What's going to happen is if I combine like terms, I see I have 3x plus 6 minus 3x. So if I take the 3x and the minus 3x and I combine them, I get no x's. In other words, I just get 6 equals 6. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Is 6 equal to 6? Is this true or false? Dora style. Is this true or false, boys and girls? You're right. This is true. So let's review. I tried to solve a system of equations. So I'm saying, how can we make these both true at the same time? And the math says, you know what? X doesn't matter. It's just true. So they're both true at the same time always, which means they are the same line. So if when you're solving this, if you get a true, that means they are the same line. So we only have one line in the picture. They're the same line. So how many solutions are there? There are an infinite number of solutions. And the system is called a dependent system. All these things are true. So what's happening? Happy Matt Damon. Yay! Matt Damon is happy. He's going to make it home. There are lots of ways to solve this. Now, in future math classes, you will learn how to specify this. If you guys are curious, I will tell you how to specify what the solutions are. But for right now, especially in elementary algebra, we're just going to say, you know what, there are an infinite number of solutions, and we'll worry about the solutions later. Just knowing that there are a lot of solutions and they are all the points on this line is all you need to know for my class. Okay, happy Matt Damon. And of course, as it always happens, Matt Damon has gotten himself in trouble again. Oh my gosh. We can't go 3 minutes without Matt Damon getting himself in trouble. Someone's got to go save him. Shall we go save him? Okay. So Matt Damon is wondering whether he's going to survive this. I don't know. There are only so many times that really it's believable that we can save Matt Damon from math, from war, from Mars, from romantic comedies where he's really awkward. Lots of times that maybe we just need to tell him to stop getting himself in peril, or maybe, it's time for a little growth on his part. And maybe he needs to learn to save himself. That's a possibility. And I know, no spoilers for The Martian, but yeah. Okay, so I got my one equation, my step one, solve for one variable. Uh-oh, I went over it on the other side. Oh no, I'm crossing the streams. Oh well, that's already done. Equation number one is already solved for y. We don't have to do any work. Lovely. Step two, substitute. Yay. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. I take my second equation, which looks like 3x plus 3y equals 6. This looks familiar. This is interesting. This has a very similar plot to his previous movie. Okay, so I'm going to take this y, which is, I haven't been coloring. Let me color. Here's my yellow happiness. And then here's my blue. So I get my other equation out. And then what I do is in place of the y, I'm going to put in this 3 minus x. So I've got 3x plus 3, and then put in the new y equals 6. Okay, so I'm going to put the 3 minus x here. And this is 3 minus x. And so then I get 3x plus 9 minus 3x, right? So this is coming through, equals 6. Okay. And just like before, here's my 3x. There's my minus 3x. So they cancel. So all I have on the left is 9 and a 6. Okay. So I get 9 equals 6. This is a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Does 9 equal 6? And the answer is, well, I'm sure you could come up with a clever way. Like if you've ever heard, when does 60 equal 1? And people will say, well, 60 minutes equals 1 hour, for example. So there's probably a clever way that 9 equals 6. But from the math that we're doing, this is false. The number 9 does not equal the number 6. Any guesses what that means? You're right. Sad Matt Damon. There's no solution. These are parallel lines. So the good news is we will be able to tell him, we'll say, you know what, we can't make you a spaceship that will both give you enough oxygen so you don't suffocate and can be shielded from the heat. But you could choose, would you rather suffocate or burn up? That hence his sad face in there. This is false situation. There's no solution. They're parallel lines. It's called an inconsistent system. I know this is a lot to remember, but again, the further you're going to go in math, the more you're going to need to know all these things. So this one is parallel lines. Sad Matt Damon. And just a helpful hint, other math teachers will have no idea what you're talking about with Matt Damon, so you're going to have to show them this video, or just chuckle to yourself and know that they're not in on, the real math. Okay, next up, 4.3, we'll be talking about another way to solve systems of equations using algebra.